The history of Tarleton sports. Early beginnings. The history of Tarleton State University was founded between late 1865 and early 1896. Construction began in 1893. First opened September 4th of 1896, that marked by the announcement of its first semester. This included semester dates, tuition charges, and a 5-member faculty. However, financial disagreements and suspicions delayed full operation until fall of 1897. The original founder was known as John Tarleton. On February 20th, 1917, the 35th Texas Legislature formally established John Tarleton's Agriculture College as a branch of Texas A&M University. Early leaders of Tarleton athletics included Arthur B. Hayes. Tarleton's first known athletic director guided John Tarleton's Agriculture College, otherwise known as GTAC, into its era within the Texas A&M University system. He oversaw the intercollegiate sports known as basketball, football, and baseball. Men's track and field introduced the following year under head coach P.G. Greenwood. Coach Wisdom's legacy made a significant impact on Tarleton athletics. Some of his achievements included 3 state titles in football, 5 state championships in basketball, and a 1926 state championship in baseball. Some changes that were included in the 1928-29 season were spring 1929 marked the end of the intercollegiate basketball under Coach Wisdom. Some short-lived introductions of sports programs were boxing and wrestling. Leadership transition. Fall 1929, Coach Wisdom stepped down as football head coach, with W.A. Hall becoming the first full-time football head coach for the university. Growth of men's athletics. Coach Wisdom expanded the department by introducing men's golf, which was another sport that he took part in coaching. By the 1930s, Tarleton athletics was exclusively male-dominated. Women's sports shift. Women competed in intercollegiate basketball during the 1920s. By the 1930s, all women's sports transitioned to intramural competitions only. Women intramural activities, 1930s. Women competed in various sports including basketball, soccer, volleyball, tennis, calisthenics, dancing, and horseback riding. A brief return to intercollegiate competition. The 1934-35 academic year saw women compete in basketball and gymnastics at the intercollegiate level. This lasted only 1 season before reverting to intramural competition until 1968. The World War II hiatus also had an important impact of Tarleton athletics. Athletics were put on hold for 2 years due to World War II. The programs resumed in 1944 under the leadership of a new athletic director, Jimmy Marshall, reviving Tarleton's tradition of excellence. The post-war revival of Tarleton athletics, ranging from about 1944 to 1946. This returned to competition. Upon resuming athletics in 1944, the school fielded teams in only football and men's basketball. The football team struggled initially, but earned its first post-war victory against Abilene Christian. In 1946, a year of change. New leadership, athletic director C.M. Dutch Flory, took over. Tarleton's president was also E.J. Howell, a new introduction to the university. Flory expanded the athletics program to include 5 sports: football, basketball, tennis, track and field, and boxing. But as we know in the previous slides, boxing did not last long. Tarleton athletics growth and transitions, 1949 to 2020. Leadership transitions from 1949 to the 1960s. Willie Zapalak and H.A. Sanford guided Tarleton through the final years of its junior college era. Tarleton transitioned to a senior college in 1961, with its first 4-year degrees awarded in May 1963. Conference changes and Flory's leadership. Under CM Dutch Flory, Tarleton joined the NAIA Lone Star Conference in 1968, later moving to the Texas Intercollegiate Athletic Association. NCAA transitioned from 1988 to 2020. In 1988, Athletic Director Newsom replaced Gillespie and prioritized Tarleton's move to the NCAA. Tarleton transitioned to NCAA Division II athletics shortly after. On July 1, 2020, Tarleton State began its NCAA Division I era, making a significant milestone in its athletic history. Conferences through the years. TIAA. Tarleton competed in the Texas Intercollegiate Athletic Association. The Texans were founding members of this league. They stayed with them from 1976 to 1991. It moved to independent. The Texans went independent from 1991 to 1994, when going between two different conferences. The LSC was next. Tarleton's competed in the Lone Star Conference twice. They originally competed in this conference from 1968 to 1976. The Texans then came back to the league from 1994 to 2020. WAC. Tarleton joined the Western Athletic Conference in 2020. This is the conference 12 out of their 14 sports are currently competing in. The UAC. After the 2022 football season, the WAC and the Athletic Sun Conference started a football-only partnership known as the United Athletic Conference. The Texan football team has been playing in this conference since 2023. Lastly, the CUSA. The Texans' newest spot is sand volleyball. They compete in our conference as well. This conference is known as Conference USA. Tarleton transitions to Division I. Tarleton moved to Division I in July of 2020. Reclassification period. Transition to another division requires a transition period. This is a 4-year reclassification period. During this time, no sport is allowed to compete in any national competition. This is to give the school time to adjust to the athletic and academic standards required to be Division I. Completion of reclassification period. July 2024. Tarleton finished their 4 years. They are now able to compete in post-season competition across all sports and can win national championships. The reclassification record. Tarleton set a record score of 990 out of 1,000 points during the reclassification period. Their competitiveness during this period was unmatched by other institutions. Again, we take a look at Coach Wisdom's impact on Tarleton athletics. Athletic excellence. Under Wisdom, Tarleton won multiple state championships in football, basketball, and baseball, including 3 consecutive football titles and 5 basketball championships. The mascot change was also an important event. In 1924, Wisdom held a contest to change the school's mascot. Plowboys was chosen, and making a new chapter in Tarleton's history. Expansions of sports. Wisdom expanded Tarleton's athletic offerings and adding boxing, wrestling, and later men's golf. Record-breaking basketball. From 1934 to 1938, Wisdom's basketball team won 86 consecutive games, one of the longest streaks in collegiate basketball history. Some leadership transitions. Wisdom served as an athletic director for 19 years. Interrupted by a brief hiatus during World War II, as we knew from the previous slide. He resumed in 1941, leaving the school through the wartime challenges. Post-war athletics. Following World War II, Tarleton resumed athletic competition in 1944 with football and basketball, overcoming early challenges and including a tough football season. Tarleton Athletics development. Leadership transition. Flory led through 1949, followed by Willie Zapak from 1949 to 1951, and H.A. Sandy Stanford, 1951 to 1961, guided Tarleton through the junior college era. In 1961, they transitioned to a senior college, issuing a 4-year degrees in 1963 and gaining accreditation in 1966. Athletic success in the 1970s. Jan Lowry won the first TIAA Women's Basketball Championship. Buddy Fornes led football to 2 championships in 1977 and also 1978, with the 1978 team reaching the first national playoff. Lon Reisman leadership. Hired in 1988, Lon Reisman turned the men's basketball program into a national powerhouse, leading the teams through NCAA Division II transitions. Now we can take a look at the athletics programs now offered in Tarleton State University. For the men's, we have basketball that was introduced in 1950. Then basketball, 1921, and discontinued in 1969, then later reintroduced in 1988. Cross country was introduced in 1934. Football, 1904. Golf, 1929, then discontinued in 1955, later reintroduced in 2022. Indoor track and field was not able to have an exact date for when they reintroduced or introduced. For outdoor track and field was 1974. Now on the women's side, basketball was introduced in 1974. Beach volleyball was the newest sport added in 2023. Cross country was 1991. Golf was introduced in 1998. Indoor track and field was introduced in 2012. And outdoor track and field was introduced also in 2012. Soccer was introduced in 2022. Softball was introduced in 2015. Tennis was introduced in 2005. And volleyball was also not able to have an exact date for when they were introduced to Tarleton Athletics. Moving on to notable athletes and coaches in the Hall of Fame. Track and field highlights a legacy of success. 1959 Sprint Relay Team. Members Franklin Wood, Jackie Russell, Guy Golden, and Larry Jones. Achieved Tarleton's first ever national championship, winning the 440-yard sprint and relay at the National Junior College Track and Field Competitions. Championships. Jack Allen, head coach, from 1990 to 2002. He led Tarleton's program for 13 years with a .573 win percentage. Accomplishments under his leadership include 2 Lone Star Conference South Division titles, 2 outright conference championships, 1 Texas Intercollegiate Athletic Association title, 1 NAIA District 8 crown, and he secured 1 regional berth. Some achievements and championships include 36 Lone Star Conference championships, 9 LSC tournament championships, 14 NCAA regional championships. As you can tell, Tarleton State University has had several achievements in athletics. Now moving on, we have some questions. What event brought Tarleton's its first national championship in 1959? A. 440-yard sprint relay. B. Long jump. C. 100-meter dash. Or D. 4x4 relay. The answer is A. 440-yard sprint relay. Tarleton transitioned to NCAA Division I in which year? A. 2016. B. 2018. C. 2020, D. 2022. The correct answer is C. 2020. What sport did Tarleton State University introduce in 2022? A. Tennis. B. Basketball. C. Women's soccer. D. Beach volleyball. The correct answer is C. Women's soccer. When did the 35th Texas Legislature officially establish John Tarleton's Agriculture College as a branch of Texas A&M University? A. February 20, 1917. B. January 15th, 1915. C. March 5th, 1920. Or D. December 25th, 1918. The correct answer is A. February 20th, 1917. What year was men's basketball first introduced at Tarleton State University? A. 1919. B. 1921. C. 1930. Or D. 1935. The correct answer is B. 1921. Conclusion. Over the years, Tarleton State University has seen remarkable growth in its sports programs, evolving from humble beginnings in the early 20th century and recognized NCAA Division I school today. From the introduction of men's football in 1904 to the establishment of women's beach volleyball in 2023, Tarleton has built a rich athletic history that spans across a variety of sports. The university's commitment to student athletics has led the development of numerous programs including football, track and field, softball, and volleyball, which have competed at both regional and national levels. Throughout its transition from junior college to university with NCAA Division II and now to Division I, Tarleton's athletics have played a crucial role in building school spirit and pride. Tarleton's legacy of excellence in athletics continued to shape the university's future with increasing opportunities for students and growing presence in competitive sports. The ongoing development of both men's and women's programs reflects the institution's vision for a well-rounded championship-winning athletic department. And these are our sources. Thank you.